morning. This one is called the 7 Common Homebuyer Mistakes, and this is part of the Homebuyer Survival Kit. So let's just go over the first one. I want to go through this fast because you may want to read the article all by itself. But the first one is going too fast. A lot of times you'll go out there and you'll put a contract on a house that seems like it's the perfect house, only to find that A, you bought too much, 2, you may not have done some of the preliminary work that you needed to do, and 3, it ends up that you either can't afford it really, or maybe you find something even better before you go on. So going too fast is one of the mistakes when we go into contract and we find out that, oh my gosh, how can we get out of this thing? And it's tough to get out of these things once you get started. So after you contract, let me tell you, all bets are off. You're probably going to either buy that house or it's going to cost you some money. All right, number 2. Overbuying. This is a big one. A lot of people go out there, and if they do get pre-approved, a lot of times the lender will pre-approve you for the maximum amount that you can afford. Well, guess what? It's tough when you've overbought a house, or you live in a house and you can't afford to put furniture in it, or you can't afford to go out and have any kind of social life. This is a big problem because a lot of times when you do that, it causes financial stress. And financial stress is the biggest reason for divorce. And if divorce happens, then you're in a big house and you not only don't have any furniture, but you don't have a spouse. Not a good thing. All right, number 3, representation. It's very important that you understand how realtors represent you and what the rules are for those. Because a lot of times you'll go out and you'll find a house on the marketplace and you'll contact the listing agent as the person that's going to show you the house. Well, what ends up happening is that the listing agent actually represents the seller. So if we see this, we always have concerns because the seller is represented by the realtor, you're represented by yourself. And you can't assume that the listing agent is going to work on your behalf. So it's very important that you understand how representation works. Very big deal. Now, I will tell you that not everybody makes all these mistakes, but a lot of people make at least one of these mistakes. Let's go to number 4, not comparing mortgages. Well, I will tell you that there are just a lot of different models out there for mortgage companies. You've got local banks, you've got national banks, you've got mortgage brokers, and you've got mortgage bankers. And it's just real important that you compare because not all programs are the same, not all pricing models are the same, and it's just worth comparing. And of course, obviously, I want to raise my hand and get you to compare with me because we think we do pretty good in that scenario. Now, let me go on to number 5, not getting pre-approved. A lot of people will go out and get a pre-qualification, but they may not get pre-approved, or maybe they don't even get pre-qualified, and then they go and try to buy a house. Well, the worst possible thing that happens is they're shocked when the lending standards have changed, and they change, seems like weekly now, and to the point where you don't qualify anymore. Or worse is you've got pre-qualified, but you didn't get pre-approved, and there is a difference that I'll explain on a different tape, and you get that ugly surprise that after you thought you were pre-qualified, all of a sudden the rug is pulled out from under you because you didn't supply some documentation to get pre-approved. It's a big mistake. It costs a lot of gnashing of teeth, a lot of realtor anger, a lot of seller anger. Don't do it. Get pre-approved if you can. All right? And number 6, wait for the perfect home. Now, I'm sure that there's a home out there that will suit your needs. I'm sure that you're going to find it with some due diligence. But to find the perfect home, you might as well get past that. There's not the perfect home out there. Even though in this particular market there's a lot of homes for sale, you have a lot of options, you may want to make a list, and I think we talked about this in our previous thing, and if you can fit 90% of your wants and needs, then that might be a good one to seize on. Because what happens is if you wait for the right house or wait for that perfect house, you're going to spend a lot of time in the market and you're going to miss some very good opportunities for that. And financing could change also. And finally, number 7, shortcutting the inspection. Now, this doesn't mean that you don't necessarily get an inspection. It may mean that you get your brother-in-law who has a friend that's an electrician that's going to go over and help you do that stuff. Well, I can tell you that a whole house inspection is a very valuable piece of insurance to protect you. And if you don't go through this process of getting an experienced, seasoned inspector to do a whole house inspection, you're setting yourself up for a big mistake. So just be aware of that. Now, If you have any questions about the 7 common mistakes, and I call them killer mistakes because every one of them will end up costing you money. My role is to make sure that you save money in this transaction, and that's why I want to raise my hand and say, if I can give you a quote or a pre-qualification, love to do that. This is Mike Durr. Talk to you soon. Appreciate it. Be ready for the next part to the home buying survival kit coming up. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.